it's Jordan. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today's story is a story time. Today's video is a story time if you could not tell by the title of this video. I don't think I told this story. Hopefully I didn't, because shit, I'm about to tell it again. This is the story about the time I greened out in In-N-Out. Like, hardcore greened out, was tripping. Okay, I had to set y'all up a little differently. But okay, this story time takes place my junior year of high school. I remember this story like it was fucking yesterday. Like, genuinely, a lot of my story times I have like fuzzy details, but like this story time is one that I remember like the back of my fucking hand, because this day was so traumatic for me. I was so scared of my well-being. I was terrified. Okay, so if you didn't know, junior year of high school is when I started heavy smoking, like all the time. I was really, really depressed. I was going through a bad breakup. I feel like I always tell you guys that. I was going through a really bad breakup with like my first girlfriend, my first real girlfriend that I ever had, like somebody I was in love with. I was so depressed, and I used to skip school all the time. I used to smoke. Like, I was really going through it junior year of high school. Like, junior year was a shit show for me. So, like I said, I used to smoke all the time. I would smoke with my friends after school. I would leave school to go smoke. I had a wax pen. Like, I was smoking anytime I could get my hands on something, I was gonna smoke it. Well, not anything. Just that Mary Jane. Wait a minute, let me not make y'all think I'm something that I ain't. Just that Mary Jane. So, I remember after school one day, I was gonna go get my nails done, and my friend Bria was gonna come to meet me after I got my nails done, because she was gonna go hang out with, I want to give them different names because one of them's like an athlete, our friend Kevin and our friend Nicole. So she was gonna go hang out with our friends Kevin and Nicole while I was getting my nails done. So I went and got my nails done. They were the ugliest fucking nails I've ever had in my life. Those short shits, I hated them. And my pinky nail was broken off at the time, so I had like a nail on my skin. Like, I looked super stupid, but like whatever. So after I am done with my nail appointment, I call my friend Bria. Did I say her real name? Yeah, I call my friend Bria. And I'm like, hey, B-Dog, I'm done with my nail appointment. I'm at the nail salon by the school, by the In-N-Out. Like, come meet me over here. She's like, okay, I'm about to have Kevin and Nicole come drop me off. Because Kevin had a car, and then Kevin and Nicole were dating. Like, they were like this. Now, Kevin and Nicole both smoked. Nicole was, out of all four of us, I think Nicole was the biggest smoker. Like, she was always high. And she had a wax pen. Her wax pens always made me feel terrified. Like, I don't know why. Like, her shit was just hella strong. Like, every time I smoked with her, I was just like, oh, I'm scared. Like, every single time. But I would still smoke with her because, bitch, I'm like 16. I gotta get what I could get. So they end up pulling up in fucking Kevin's like tiny little BMW. Bria gets out of the back. I'm sitting there talking to Kevin and Nicole for a little minute. We're just chatting it up, da-da-da-da-da. And then Kevin pulls out his battery for his wax pen. Now, this was a big-ass battery. I had never seen a battery this big for a fucking wax pen ever. Like, it looked like a vape battery. So I'm like, that's a pen? He's like, yeah, that's for, like, the pen. You want to hit the pen. So then I said her name. Okay, well, we'll just keep rolling with it. So then, what was her name? Oh, so then Nicole puts her cart onto the wax pen. So I'm like, cool beans, cool, yay. Like, who gives a fuck, you know what I mean? So Nicole tells me, just hit it one time. And I'm like, why? Because at this point, I'm like an avid smoker. Like, I was hitting my own wax pen like 6 times to feel anything. She's like, just hit it one time. And she had it turned up all the way. If you don't know, on a wax pen, you can turn it like you can turn the heating settings different. And how are the heating settings, or I don't know, you turn the settings different, and the highest setting will get you hella high. You can put it on the lowest setting and it won't get you super high. Now, she had this like vape battery on the highest setting. And it was a big ass battery too. She had this shit on the highest setting. So I took one hit. I inhaled and I exhaled. And I remember immediately, I'm like, that was a bad idea. That was a bad idea. Now, my friend Bria had hit that shit like 2 or 3 times, even though the homegirl Nicole already told us only hit it once. Like, and I don't know if in my head I thought Nicole only wanted us to hit it once because either it was strong or because she just wanted to save her wax. Like, I don't really know. But my bitch Bria hit that shit 2 or 3 times. Then Nicole and Kevin end up being like, okay, we gotta go because Kevin has to go to practice. Like, he has to take me home, blah, 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 whatever. So I'm like, okay, like, bye. See you guys tomorrow at school, or see you on Monday, like, whatever day it was. And as me and Bria are walking away. I'm like, let's go to In-N-Out like before we go to my house. I don't even like In-N-Out. So that should have been like a telltale sign that I was not okay, because I honestly don't really like In-N-Out. Their fries are gross. I don't like the taste of onions. It smells like onions in there. I only eat it protein style, like now. But I was like, let's go to In-N-Out. And then as we're walking to In-N-Out, and keep in mind, this is just across the parking lot, I literally turned to my friend Bria and I said, that was a really bad idea. And she's like, what? I was like, hitting that. Like, I already know that I'm not about to have a fun, like, high. Like, I'm not vibing with it. And she's like, it's fine. Like, let's just go and eat. Whatever. So as soon as we go into this In-N-Out, like literally as soon as we open the door, I'm overwhelmed. Like, I am so high that it's terrifying. Like, I'm overwhelmed with how high I am. So I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I was like, what the fuck? So we walk in, and I remember, the only way I can describe it is like sensory overload. Like, it was so loud, it was so bright, it was so cold. Like, I could feel everything, I could hear everything, I could see everything. And I don't have good eyesight or good hearing, like, at all. So as soon as we enter this In-N-Out, I'm like, oh, like, I'm overcame with all these sounds, and there was only a few people in there. And I just remember describing it to my friend Bria as, it's so bright in here, I feel like I'm in the 1950s. Like, you know how they portray the 1950s, like, if it's not in black and white, as like super colorful and pop, like that. Like, I was just like, I feel like I'm in the 1950s. Like, that's the only way I could describe it to her as. So I go up to the people, I order my food, I'm like, oh, can I get like a double, and can I get a medium or a small drink, whatever. I ordered a drink, I know that for sure. The lady's like, yeah. So I end up cashing out. I grabbed the drink, and I left my wallet and my debit card out on the counter. And if you know me, I'm gonna make sure I have my wallet, my debit card, my phone, and my keys now. Like, I always have to have those things right next to me. So for me to leave my wallet on the counter, bitch, I'm gone. So the lady's like, ma'am, your wallet. I'm like, oh, I'll come back and get it. I go to because I needed something to drink. Like, at that point, my heart was like going like that. And I'm like, I'm scared. So I go to the drink station, I fill it up with, I think it was strawberry lemonade. Did they have strawberry lemonade? I don't know, it was some kind of lemonade. So I fill it up with the lemonade. I don't even put a top on it. I just start guzzling it. I fill it back up, I guzzle it. Like, I'm just there just guzzling down lemonade. So then my friend Bria comes to me. She has my wallet and my debit card, and she's like, calm down. And she like puts it in there for me. She puts it in my backpack. She fills herself up a drink, and we sit at a table in the corner. I remember being like, I need to be in the corner. Like, I don't want to be around people, which is stupid because right across from us, there was like this little white couple who will come into play in a minute. So, we're sitting in the corner, and I'm telling Bria, like, I'm freaking out. I was like, I'm really high and I'm super uncomfortable. And I have pictures from that day, and I don't even look as high as I felt, but I just remember I was so uncomfortably high. Like, I was so scared. So, then I go to the bathroom. I'm like, okay, I need to go to the bathroom. I go to the bathroom. I wet my face. Like, I'm trying to tell myself. I'm like looking in the mirror being like, calm down, Jordan. You're not high. Calm down. You're okay. Like, you need to just breathe. As my heart's palpitating, as like I'm seeing stars, like I feel like I'm about to fucking pass out, I'm telling myself, like, calm down. You're okay. You're fine. Chill out. So I splash some water on my face, and I go sit back down. I'm still freaking the fuck out. And Bria had got my food for me because they had called my number out, whatever. So my food is sitting there. Then Bria goes to the bathroom. They start calling Bria's number or like Bria's name or whatever. And I literally am frozen. Like, I couldn't move. And then the white couple that I told you guys about was sitting across from us, or sitting across from me because Bria's in the bathroom at this point, going, oh, look, now the girlfriend won't go get the other girlfriend's food. Like, sitting there talking about me. And if I was in my normal state of mind, I would have been like, bitch, like, stop fucking talking about me. I'm sitting right here. But I was so high. I was so scared. I just, like, sat there and stared back. Like, I just sat there and was like, because I was like, you could obviously tell something was wrong with me. Like, I was so scared. So Bria comes out. I'm like, they're calling your name for your food. She goes get her food. She sat down. I think I took like 2 or 3 bites, and I was like, I'm going to vomit. Like, I'm going to throw the fuck up. I cannot be here. So then the In-N-Out employee comes over to our table. She's like, hey, are you guys good? And we're like, yeah. In my mind, I'm thinking like, bitch, no. Like, please save me. Like, I'm terrified. And she's like, can I get anything for you? And I said, can you open the blinds? Like the window. So she's like, yeah. She opens them, and then I said, oh my God, it's too bright. Close them back. And she closed them back, like the shades. So I'm like at that point, I'm scared because, like I said, I had sensory overload. So once she opened those blinds, it like intensified. I was so like terrified. This old white couple is still staring at me. Bria's sitting there trying to tell me calm down. I literally could not calm down. So then I give Bria my debit card. I'm like, go see if they sell milk. Because if you smoke, you know The old tale is milk calms your high down. That shit's not true. Milk does not calm you down. Lemons do, so I've heard, but I had lemonade and that didn't work. But yeah, I'm like, go get me some milk. So she goes, she gets milk. She's like, it was $1. Da, da, da. I guzzled that fucking milk, bitch. I guzzled my milk. And I remember I had a vitamin water. So I'm going milk, vitamin water, lemonade, milk, vitamin water, lemonade. Like, I'm juggling between my 3 beverages that I have in front of me. And finally, I'm like, okay, Bria, I'm about to go home and I order myself an Uber. But at that point, I had ordered myself a single Uber. And you know, if you have more than one passenger, you have to do a different setting. So Bria's like, oh, I was supposed to go home with you. So I'm like, ugh. So I have to cancel the Uber and then order a 2-person Uber so that Bria can come home with me. I'm not about to say no and leave my bitch stranded here. So I'm like, okay, like, I'll just order it. And at that point, that's when Bria started to kind of panic. She told me that she was trying to keep it together because we were in public, but inside she was also panicking. But I couldn't hold it together. I could not hold my composure. I was terrified. Like, genuinely, I was terrified. It's always like a fucking wax pen. Like, ugh. Anyway, so our Uber was closed. So I grabbed my stuff. I'm like, okay, we need to go outside. We go outside. It was so fucking windy this day. It was in January this happened. It was so fucking windy, like hella windy. So we're sitting outside because In-N-Out has tables outside. Bria's sitting next to me and I could feel the wind going through my ears. I swear to God, I told Bria, I'm like, I feel the wind whistling through my ears. The Uber pulls up. We could have got kidnapped that day because neither me or Bria can tell you the description of that Uber. We can't tell you if he was white, Mexican, Asian, big, skinny, tall, short. We can't even tell you what the car looked like. Like, we were so high. But I know that we talked to this man the entire ride. I can't tell you what about, but I talked to that Uber driver the whole ride to my house. And when I say the whole ride, it's like a 7-minute drive. But I talked his fucking ear off. But I can't even tell you what the guy looked like. So he could have really kidnapped us and I would have had no description of him, honestly. So he ends up dropping us off at my house. We have our In-N-Out, whatever. I go inside my house. When I open the door, my mom's best friend's kids used to come over after school because our house was across the street from their school and they couldn't walk all the way home by themselves because their house was too far. So I used to walk to my mom's house and just come in and like sit there and wait for their mom because they had a house key. Like, I would never know when they were coming. They would just come. Like, sometimes I'd come home from school and they would be there if I came home late because they got out at like 2:30 or something and my school got out at 1:25. Or like I would be upstairs and just hear the front door open and I'd be like, hello, and they'd be like, it's me, it's Junior. So like they would come chill at my mom's house after school. So I open the door and I see my mom's, but he's basically my little cousin, so I'm gonna call him my little cousin. So I see my little cousin and I'm like, so I closed the door back and I said, act normal because my mom's best friend's kids are in here. She's like, why are there random kids in your house? And I remember going, I don't know, but act normal. I said, just walk upstairs. So Bria doesn't say anything. She goes in, she keeps her head down, and she walks up the stairs. Because this was my door, and the stairs were right here, and they went like this. Like, basically like 3 fucking flights, even though I had a 2-story. So I walk in, I say hi, and I turned around, closed the door, locked it, and went upstairs to my room. I didn't say, how was school, anything. I said hi, and I walked upstairs to my room. When we get upstairs to my room, I lay down. I'm trying to like catch my breath. I'm feeling a lot better now because I feel safe. Like in the In-N-Out, I was freaking out because like I wasn't at home. Like I didn't feel safe. I was very scared because I was in like, I felt vulnerable basically. So as soon as I got my bed, I started to calm down a little bit. I'm laying on my bed, which is how you know I'm high because I don't sit on my bed with outside clothes on. It kind of grosses me out. So I'm like, and then Bria's like, oh, can I eat in your room? Bria was a really messy eater, so I made her eat on a towel, and she ended up getting that whole towel full of crumbs. But after that, Bria, like, she, like, fell into the wall. Like, Bria starts tripping, so I'm like, damn, okay, bitch, like, come lay your ass down. So Bria comes to lay down. Now she's greening out. I'm like, because I'm, like, just, I'm high as hell now, but I'm, like, at a comfortable high. Like, my uncomfortable high had went away. So now I'm trying to calm Bria's ass down. I remember I'm singing a song to her. I'm going, like, ooh. I have a video in my phone till this day. It's 12 minutes long of me singing to Bria. It's 12 minutes long of me singing ooh, ah, like ooh, ah, to Bria to calm her down. And I'm like, is it helping? She's like, yeah, it's really helping. Like, anyway, so then Bria's mom ends up coming to pick her up. Like 30 minutes or 45 minutes after we get to my house. And I'm like, I usually would walk her out to her mom's car and like be like, thank you for letting her come over. Like, you know, manners. But I said, Bria, there's no way I can walk you to your mom's car. Because I look like that. I was like, there's no way I can walk you to your mom's car. So I walked her to the door and I was like, I hope you don't get in trouble. Because like you could tell Bria was high. Like we were high as hell. So Bria ends up going home. My high ends up going away. I ended up actually smoking later that night. And Bria calls me. I was like texting Bria, nothing. Bria calls me like 7 hours later, and she's like, I just woke up. I was like, what? She's like, yeah, I fell asleep on the way to my house with my mom, and then she asked me to get out and check the mail, and I cried, and I just woke up. And I was like, okay, well, let's never smoke with Nicole again. She's like, yeah, let's not. So yeah, that is the story of when I was greening the fuck out and in and out, and I was so high, and I was so fucking scared, and I thought I was gonna die. Do not smoke things that you don't know what the fuck they are, because till this day, I still think I got fucking laced. Don't smoke shit if you don't know what it is. Don't smoke shit off your friends in general. There's a fucking virus going around. And yeah, I hope you guys like this story time as much as I enjoyed making it. Subscribe, like, comment, tell me what you want to hear next. Follow my Instagram at Jordan Araya and my TikTok and my Twitter at Jordan from Vegas with a Z. And bye, guys.